Welcome back to the IBJJF Podcast. My name is Danny, and my guest today is Mathias Luna. Matthias is a checkmat black belt, and he's going to be part of the IBJJF Flow Grappling Grand Prix that's taking place August 12th in Austin, Texas. Matthias, thanks for joining me.
Oh, thank you, Danny. I appreciate your invitation, and let's talk about everything.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. I definitely want to get into the GP, but first I thought we'd start with some of your history in Jiu-Jitsu. Do you want to fill people in on how you got into the sport originally and what your early memories are with competition?
So I started training Jiu-Jitsu 11 years ago. One of my neighbors started training for free on this social project, and they invited us to enjoy. Me and my brother, we started on the same day. So after we enjoyed the first class, we just keep it up, we just keep in training. We really like it, we enjoy. And in a few months, after a few months, we start compete. After 8 months training, we compete. And we really like the lifestyle, the fighting, the environment, the vibes, so that's why I'm still in the sport today.
You mentioned that you started with your brother on the same day, and there's a lot of really good brother duos in Jiu-Jitsu that I think it really helps to be able to push each other and to always have each other to train with. Can you talk about your experience growing up with your brother Mathias and how important his presence was for your evolution in the sport?
So yeah, it's a really benefit when you have your brother training with you, because especially in the beginning, everyone's putting you, and you guys trade a lot of information about the positions and training together, and always you live with that person and you live with that person, so you guys ended up talking more about it, position, about more jiu-jitsu, so definitely jiu-jitsu is going to be more into of your life that's a normal person, so this help you grow a lot your jiu-jitsu with the training, because especially how you start training with the same person every single day, they start kind of block your movements, because he's know what to do it, you always train together, and besides you have to grow another positions and start building another positions, and I think that's a lot of brothers, they be successful on jiu-jitsu because they always win and train, they know the game, so they have to figure out do all the stuff, because your brother is sick of to see you with the same thing. He's been doing training with you, and see you do it with the other people, and when you go do it to him, they know already. So you have to do another position, have to figure out how grow more your jiu-jitsu, because they're gonna block.
And what was it like training in a social project at the start? I know a lot of elite competitors start in a similar situation. How was the social project that you trained at growing up?
So the social project was from Natal, where I'm come from, northeast of Brazil. So I think is really important, especially for for tournaments and competitors, to build competitors. The social projects is save people's life, change people's life, who started the project was my first masters, Bruno and Thiago Barreto, and they just decided open a social project, and after I'm here finding one of the best tournaments of the all planet, so it just gives people's opportunity. That's all I can say. I don't know what it would be if I had not started that time. I don't think it's my parents would support me without the project, buy gifts, pay membership. So with all this support, just introducing the sport on someone else's life, it's changed. So it changed my life, changed my brother's life, and changed a lot of people's life, you know. So I think it's really important, one of my goals in my life in doing this back in Brazil or here, introduce more jiu-jitsu on people, on social project, because I think everyone deserves the same opportunity I had. So yeah, pretty much it. When I started, me and my brother, we really got lucky, to one one of my neighbors like invite us to train for like we just train for no reason. We just like, oh, let's go train. Like it's free, it's free. So like I say, why not? Like people usually they just be at home. They don't do anything. They just like waste time. And I'm happy to my friends show me the sport and show me the opportunity. Yeah, because like I don't know what I would be if I had like if those people, my professors, didn't start off the project.
You mentioned you had the opportunity, but you and your brother really ran with it. You guys became really high level competitors. You traveled to the U.S. to compete at the Worlds as lower belts. What were those early experiences like coming to the United States and competing in Long Beach at the Pyramid?
Uh, my first time I competed the IBJJF Awards was 2015. Um, so yeah, like me and my brother, like um, we we used to fight a lot around the country, like where we come from, so we could save money. We spent a whole year fighting because they like normally like they have open class around and they get cash prize. So we was fighting whole year, fighting to collect the money to come to United States. So in 2015, we come to spend 2 weeks, and I lost my second fight. I lost my second fight for Levi as a blue belt, and my brother he did better than me. He think he lost on the quarters finals. I think he did like 4 fights, something like that, 5 fights, because like blue belts like always when you check the brackets like 150 people, So you do 5 fights, but you didn't even get a medal.
8 fights to win.
Yeah, 8 fights to win. That's exactly what happened to me in 2007, 2018. I did 7 fights, like so. So yeah, so after that day, we met our coach, Ricardo Feliciano. So 1 year later, he gave opportunity to spend a little bit more. So we came 2016, and was the first time I won as a blue belt. And yeah, it was like it's, it was crazy where we come from and go to and come to a nice state. It's mean a lot, It's a big thing where we come from. Just to come here and fight is a big thing. And today we have opportunity to live, So and I remember like my dad got crazy because we spent like I don't know like maybe I don't know like about like how I can express but like about $4,000 like to me my brother I think it was more like was a lot of money and like like how I didn't have like a lot of money my dad got crazy because it was a lot of money and we lost and like feel like it's better this work
Yeah.
yeah but like yeah it and did the work but like God knows what he does because later years after years we start like come more have more opportunity but yeah so in that year like was a big thing just to came and that money I waste and that opportunity I lost today is make it worth it even like I did a lot and nothing happened that time was something build who I am and build like what I'm doing now and why I'm here.
You won blue belt 2016, and then you won purple belt 2017. And like you mentioned, those are gigantic brackets. I think was it featherweight the division that you won?
Yeah, that's
So,
by the way.
yeah, so those often have 100+ competitors in them. How much confidence did that give you to win those big tournaments, to travel and to get the victory in terms of the rest of your career? Like, did it give you confidence to say, I can do this at the next level?
Yeah, I don't know. I think everything was mindset because, like, like everything we used to do, it just like fight, like doesn't matter. I think my professor, like, he was really good, like, in mindset because he always put us to do really hard. He always push her. Like me, I was to like weigh like 130, and I was to fight like guys 200 people, 200 pounds. Because he just put in my mindset like you have to do it. Doesn't matter what. Like if you go lose it, like if you get smashed by, you're gonna worth something from that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for later on after years, I was building this on myself. That just go for it, just try your best. And like I'm never the guy like checking how many people have in the bracket. Because either ways, if you wanna be the world champion, if you wanna be the best of the bracket, you have to beat everyone. Doesn't matter who's there. And people check the bracket, they see 100 people, but they say in the first round, 50 go down. So like doesn't really make sense. Like you worry about like how many people have in the bracket because either way, like they're gonna cut, they're gonna like get out on the first round and half the way, just keep it going. So especially on blue belt, yeah, like yeah, it was really hard, especially in the first one. I won like was exactly like this, 130 people, and you just have to think one by one, you know. Especially in this tournament, I think 2018 was the same thing, just one by one. Because I cut a lot of weight, I was like, yeah, it was really hard to make a featherweight, at that point, and like I just say one by one. So like you go one and go one, go one. If you think about the whole tournament, you don't go anywhere, You're gonna like, oh, you're gonna be enough because I want 3 mats, or like, oh, I want this. I want 4 mats, but didn't got mad, but I got happy because you did a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I just always, especially when I have a big bracket like that with tough guys, I think it was one by one, like So that's how you have to face when you see a bracket with a lot of people. Don't think about the final. Don't think about the same final. Just think one by one, and you're gonna get there.
Yeah, that's a great mindset. And you parlayed a lot of your results and your experience that you got in the lower belts to having a really successful black belt career. And so now you're going to be part of the IBJJF Flow Grappling Grand Prix. You got Gabriel Argis, Ronaldo Jr., and Leandro Lowe in that bracket. So before we get into the bracket, I'd love to hear about a match that you had with Ronaldo Jr. at the American Nationals. I believe it was 2021. I think it was the final, and you won by ref decision in a really close match. That was one of the most exciting matches of 2021. Can you talk about that match and how you would feel about having a rematch with Ronaldo at the GP?
At that point, yeah, like 2021 was really hard for me. 2020, like with the pandemic, with all the gyms closed, I got a like really hard time with my jiu-jitsu career, especially with the tournaments, and I took a kind of break, like after 2020, because the whole situation was really hard, really tough. So I was saving my all my energy to compete in 2021. So I was promised myself in 2021 I was supposed to compete a lot, and I would take everything from me. So that's what I did. We fought at the tournament. I had like 4 fights. I fought pretty tough guys before the match too, and but I was pretty comfortable. I was pretty confident like about my jiu-jitsu. Like um especially at that time I've been training a lot with a I like to passing guard. Like I love passing guard. Like even like my first coach, they teach me a lot how to play guard, and they just really like uh, passing guard. I was noticing the train. I was feeling happy in doing. I was liking to do it. I was like, um, I was feel more confident to do what I know. Feel happy. In 2021, there's one other thing I changed to is just like I want to fight how I fight at the gym. Like I didn't want to fight anymore. Like, oh, I have to make points, or I have to do this to win. I have to do this advantage or whatever. Like 2021, I completely forgot about points. It's like I'm gonna fight like I'm doing at the gym. So yeah, this was like everything you guys saw at the match. That's like pretty much what I do in the train. I just prepare my mindset to make this happen in a tournament. So I was happy to because I could do that. 'Cause not a lot of people, it's like they have their mindset. They start like they do really good at the gym, but in tournaments they don't do that good, especially with the mindset because they're worried about a lot of things about how I'm gonna score points, how the match gonna go, like you worry about a lot of stuff. So for me, I wanna change this in 2021. Like I just go to fight. Doesn't matter if who it is, doesn't matter what the guy's doing. I'm just go there and I do what I'm doing in the train. So what I did on that tournament, that's exactly what I do at the gym.
You talked about your passing in that match, and I feel like that was really the highlight of your performance in that whole tournament. I know you had some really cool like combinations of guard passes, stepping out of the lapel, and going for long steps, and just combining different movements. Is that something that you feel like you do a lot more of in the gym? Is that kind of what you wanted to bring to the tournaments?
Yeah, so yeah, one of the things is this, like I noticed like I really like to move, like to pass the guard, and people like it, people just like it, and I was liking doing it too, so like that's always like on my period I was training for that tournament. I just was doing this, like like I have a lot of combinations of guard pass transitions because since I was white belt, I watch a lot like the guard passes, Lucas Lepre, Rodolfo, even Leandro Lo too, I learn a lot like from his past. So, but from I learned like a lot from that, and I start like try combine their style. So, but on if like later on, I start like build my own guard path, you know. So like more athletic, like jump more quickly on the positions. So yeah, so that's one of the ways I was training, like to be explosive and combine more positions and especially with the back step too. I feel comfortable a lot to combine another positions, but that's one of my main like I think the main path because okay, that's making me. I think how I can explain it's like that pass is I build by my own. I don't copy it from nobody. Like definitely have the base on it, like the normal backstep, but like the way I'm figured out to do it is the way I like to do it, and the way like I think it's work and I think it's fun. I think it's cool to do it, and I'll keep doing it, because I just that's what I believe in jiu-jitsu. Like if you like to do it something, like just do it. Don't feel like, oh, this is the right way to do it. Like jiu-jitsu is not like this or this. Like you have to do what you think is cool, what you think you like to do. If it's work, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's such a fun style to watch, and there are some potential great matchups at the GP. Can you talk about potential matchups with Argis and Lowe as well?
So yeah, like Leandro is one of the guys when I barely started training, he was black belt world champion. So like like is another generation. So um like and Argis as well. Like I think when he was his first black belt, I think I was purple something like that. It's so one of those guys I watch a lot. So I'm thinking I'm pretty confident to fight them because I studied them for my whole year, by my whole life and training, like especially Leandro, like is one of the guy I learned a lot from him, and so I think that's the guys I most studying for my whole like jiu-jitsu career, So like I'm not really I respect them, all of them. Like it's not easy to be a world champion. I know that because I'm fine right now. So it's really hard to be a black belt world champion. I respect them, but this respecting is done when we step in the mat. So over there I don't really respect nobody. I try to do my best. I just do what I want to do. But yeah, like both of them. Archie, he took a kind of break and compete. Like we don't know. We can come with the new moves. We don't know. He's been kind of wild, no show his jiu-jitsu. Leandro, he always like hit it. Like he always do like whatever he wanna do. But yeah, I'm excited to fight. I'm excited to fight all of them. Like I think I learned the thing I learned when I got my black belt. You have to be ready to fight all of all of the good guys. Like you cannot run anymore. It's not all about like you gotta stuck on a level. So when you jump to the black belt, you have to learn how to face those people. You have to be prepared for it. So that's what I've been doing in the last years. And I'm ready to show what I know when I fight them, you know.
Yeah, we're so excited for it. There's so many. All you guys are amazing competitors. All have really unique styles, so the matchups are all going to be incredible. I can't wait.
Yeah, I believe like the card is put it good. They put a lot of guys like to fight, you know.
Hmm.
That's the first thing when they invite me to do it. Like they told me who's gonna fight, and I jump in because it would be excited to do it, you know. So all of them like they go for it for submission, they go for it for sweeps, they go to fight. So the thing 100% sure is gonna happen in the tournament is gonna have a good fight. That's we can clearly make it sure because all of them fight to make it happen, you know. And I'm one of those guys. I'm going to do over there to make it happen, you know.
Absolutely. It's going to be amazing. And there's another amazing 4-person bracket on the same card, and it's the female GP, the first ever IBJJF female Grand Prix. It's got some great competitors. Your teammate Natalie Ribero's in it, Fionn Davis, Bianca Basilio, and Anna Rodriguez. Do you have any thoughts on the female GP?
So yeah, the GP is gonna be excited as well. Especially all of them, they will like to fight as well. The same thing as the main GP. They all of them they go for it to fight. But I'm going for Natalie. I think she's really talented. You know, really talented like competitor, and I think yes, I think she can make a great fight, and I think she can get the title. But all of the girls, like they fought, they interesting too is because all the girls they fought already together. All of them they fight each other. Like Natalie fought Bia, Natalie fought Fionn, and Fionn like fought. I believe she fought Bia as well. So all of them know the game. I think it's gonna be fun to watch as well. You know, it's not gonna have a boring match over there.
Yeah, no boring matches in either of the GPs. That's almost guaranteed.
Yeah.
Well, did you have any final thoughts on the Grand Prix, or is there anything else you wanted to touch on before we signed off?
No, like thank you so much for IBJJF for the opportunity. I think it's a big step for the sport. You know, have more of those GPs, more of those fights. So people can get more interest to watch Jiu-Jitsu. I think they did an amazing job selecting the athletes. And yeah, like thanks everyone for the support. Danny, always nice to talk to you. And yeah, just just stay on for the GP. I promise I'm gonna do my best to be excited.
Thanks, Matthias. I really appreciate your time. And everyone, definitely make sure you tune in on Flow Grappling. It's going to be on August 12th, which is a Friday. You're going to have the male GP, which is medium heavy. Also the first female GP. And we're going to have some super fights. We got Andy Murasaki taking on Levi Jones-Leary. And the second super fight is Felipe Andrew and Herbert Santos. So some great matches, both in the GP and the super fights. Thanks, everyone, for watching and or listening. And we'll see you guys soon for the next episode.